Okay, so welcome everyone to our event. Thank you so much for coming out and joining. We're going to try and keep this short and sweet, but if you have any questions along the way, please pop them into the comments or turn your microphone off and just shout them out. We love feedback and questions as we go. Today we're going to be talking about the cleaning for the 21st century, the ENJO floor system, and this is the floor system to have in your home. I've been using it myself for 6 years, no more buckets. My husband doesn't even think about bringing another floor cleaner system into the house. We used to always fight. I had another product that was similar to this that I had used, and he would bring in laminate floor cleaner, be like, well, this says I need to use this in my floor, and this is how I get my floors clean. And I was only ever washing my floors with water as long as we've owned this house with the other floor system. And I said, no, I don't want this laminate stuff on my floors. And it was always a fight. Now with ENJO, it's never a fight. He just knows ENJO is the best. He knows that the floor cleaner that he was previously trying to use just leaves streaks and residue. And, you know, he just knows that he would probably be divorced if he tried to bring something else into the house. I love my ENJO that much. So yeah, when it comes to ENJO, not all products are equal. We have an amazing system for you. Our telescopic pool is supposed to be, or is ergonomic, so it can go up to extend to 6 feet if you're a tall person, or go down really short for the short little kids that like to help mom and dad clean, and it is safe and easy for kids to use. We have a dust fiber, a soft fiber. Oh, Sion went on, that's fine. We'll go through the fibers in a minute. With the ergonomic part of it, putting the telescopic pool between your nose and your chin is the best position. So just what I want to make sure is briefly on the floor pole, there is a black thing just under the yellow, and it does say open and close. That's just telling you the direction. Yes, Sion?
Sarah, the new ones are black though.
Okay, so the new floor pole is black, but where the black meets the gray in all of them, it does say open and close there, and you don't want to twist that. That will actually just lodge pieces inside of your pole and make it difficult for you. And so it's just telling you the direction. So it's very simple to just turn your pole in the open direction and turn it in the closed direction from the yellow handle. So I actually do it right from the tip usually when I'm using it. Just give a twist and a twist the opposite way. One way will loosen, the other way will lock. So that is my suggestion. Don't be playing with the bottom of the pole. It's so easy to do it from the top that you don't even have to really worry about down there. And then you just stick it into the floor plate, and it's good to go. And because it is low, it does get under the floor or the furniture. I was just reading what it said there at the bottom.
Sorry.
Our dust fiber is amazing. It gets, because the fibers are on the edge, they're able to get up and in close to everything. So it will even get around your table legs, your chair legs as they sit in their spot. And it will get the bottoms of your baseboards and into the corners much better than any other system. And it flips up easy so that it can get the walls. Yep.
It also doesn't damage the legs of your, especially like antique furniture or something like that.
Yeah. So, you know, we've all had it where the vacuum, you're vacuuming around, maybe some other mops and stuff like that, they have that hard edge. and you're hitting the furniture time after time and you're putting dings in it and disrupting your furniture, this won't do that because it's a soft surface that's going to clean it and not damage it. So this fiber is proven to trap, remove dust as effectively as a HEPA vacuum filter. If you have dust-borne allergies in your house, this fiber using regularly over 6 weeks in your home, if you use it regularly, then it will actually remove 60% of the dust-borne allergies in your home. So that's just a fun fact. So yeah, it's used every floor in your house. It doesn't matter, and every hard surface, honestly. So you can use it not only on the floors, but the walls, especially if you're drywalling and stuff and getting prepped for paint. You want to make sure that you're getting all that dust and debris off the walls, as well as the floors. And actually, I just cleaned a cottage. Just quickly, I cleaned a cottage the other day. They wanted like a top to bottom clean. And I literally took this and I dusted the ceilings off in the whole cottage. They were gross. They needed it. Just with cobwebs and everything else. So then we have our soft floor fiber, and the soft floor fiber is best used slightly damp. You don't need to soak it. So just spritzing your floor and then washing it a lot of the times is all it needs. It's best for smooth, high shine floors, and for natural unsealed floors, wood and cork, wax and oiled floors, excuse me. So your more sensitive floors is what it's best for.
You can also use it to dry behind other ones.
Yes, you can also use it to dry behind other ones. So if your medium floor fiber is, or if you use the medium floor fiber and pull up a lot of grunge and stuff like that, then you can use the soft fiber to pick up everything that's kind of left behind. That's a really good trick that I use when I'm cleaning off old residue from floors. So your medium floor fiber is this one here, and it's recommended to use damp to clean the floors, so getting a little bit more water in it so that it can be better. And it's ideal for laminate, vinyl, real wood, glossy, and rough tiles. And it's good to use dry behind after using the strong and extreme floor fiber. So I did quickly mention old chemical residue, and some of you may have heard me talk about this before. I have been hired by people to go in and clean their homes after they've destroyed their floors with chemicals. Some chemical cleaners leave enormous layers of residue behind, especially on the floors. So the Murphy's oil and products like that just build up and build up. So I would recommend using the strong and the medium to wash that buildup off, and then picking up the excess with the soft and polishing it up with the soft after you're done. So then that brings us into the strong floor fiber. It's for hard wearing floors, walls, and ceilings. Works on textured vinyl, slate, composite safety tiles. It's good inside and outside. Cleaning up items like tents and in the pools. I used to use the floor system in our pool all the time. Now I'm more partial to use the multi-tool, but both items work really well. And the strong floor fiber, I actually used it to clean up oil grease or an oil spill in my husband's garage, and then washed it out and used it in my pool right afterwards, and used it in my sister-in-law's pool without having to worry about contaminating the water or anything like that. So we can get anything we put into the fibers out of the fibers with our cleaners. Next one. Then the extreme. So this is ideal for hard wearing exterior floors and walls, garage siding, decks, outdoor steps. This one will strip, just so you know. So be very careful where you're using it. If you don't want whatever painted surface is there to be gone, don't use it there. I use this a lot in my cement basement floor, especially when we're dealing with mold that might have sat in the basement. It's great for cleaning all that up and then using the strong or the medium to collect the mold afterwards, because this fiber doesn't really trap the dirt and debris the same way that the other ones do. It more just kind of rubs it out and like gets it out of the ground, and then you need to come across with another fiber afterwards to pick it all up and wash it and remove it. So here is a video that we're just going to play, and hopefully you can see how amazing our fibers are to compared to other products. Is there volume on that video? Maybe.
It's really loud on my end, but there's no speaking or anything like that. So it's just music.
Yeah, it's a quick video anyways. I just thought I'd bring that up. So that's kind of, we were just going over the main fibers. Does anybody have any questions at this point about anything that I've talked about? You can put it in the chat. If you're not able to talk, and if not, then I'll go on, but I am just pulling up the chat here so I can see if something pops up. And
so with the extreme fibers,
yeah,
for outside, so because it says like, because you mentioned like not doing it on painting or whatever, so like would it be okay for aluminum siding?
The aluminum siding is not painted. It's usually like a product that's like built into the aluminum siding.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, it would be safe on the aluminum siding. It's not gonna, unless any of the other entrepreneurs that are on here disagree with that, but I've used not that one, but the glove on aluminum siding without any issues, and the scrubby side of that. So Wendy looks like she wants to say something.
I don't think it would hurt it, but you don't need it. That strong fiber is great. And if you got the multi-tool now, that's a perfect thing for siding because it fits right under those little edges when it comes down. But so I wouldn't even use that extreme, but that's just me.
Thank you,
Okay.
Wendy.
Thanks. Our house is like 100 years old with the original aluminum, and it's like, yeah, trying to get it clean is impossible. So I was thinking that the extreme fibers might get rid of all the layers.
The other thing that is generally recommended is don't start with, I mean, I'm going to say extreme, but I'm saying don't start with the most extreme. Start with something lighter and move up to a stronger fiber just in case, because I mean, none of us were around 100 years ago when your house was made. So pretty sure none of us are exact experts on what would have been like back then. But you can, and I mean, you're not, I mean, it's not like you're next door to me, but you're not that far away from me that I couldn't like meet with you or something and loan you like the glove versions of those fibers. And that way you could try it a little bit if you were thinking about the floor system.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always the best way to go, is kind of see which one works best in the area. And as Wendy says, I really do think that the strong or the outdoor might work better than the extreme, because the extreme, as I said, is only going to agitate the dirt. You still need something to go along and remove it all. And one of the other fibers will actually remove and pick it up and get rid of it for you. So I hope that's helpful.
Very much so. Thank you.
So the next part of this is going to talk about our old fibers and when it's time to renew some of our products. So one thing I want to say is, I don't know, Sion, do you want to take it off screen share for a minute?
Sure.
So I do have a few fibers here, and I'm going to start with the dust. So can anybody see the difference there of these two fibers? We have the old fiber here in my right hand, and in my left hand we have the new dust fiber. And I wanted to say, like, our dust fibers, really, they hold up. They hold up for a very long time. So our 3 years that you're being told that you have to replace your fibers, I use these dust fibers every day in my home, in other people's homes. And this one here is actually the original fiber I got 5 years ago. It looks brand new. Compared to any of my other fibers, it still looks brand new. So they don't wear out as much. This one here is probably about 10 years old. I got it gifted to me from a friend actually that was getting rid of it and replacing her fiber. And you can see it's more worn. The other thing is that you want to look for is we changed our ENJO logo. Nope, it's not on that one because that one's even old. Sorry, hold on. Oh, maybe the ENJO logo isn't changed on there. I thought it was. Sorry. I was going to say you need to look for the ENJO logo, but it didn't change in even the new stuff. Yeah, so never mind. But one thing that did change over time is our blue changing to black. Our black and blue parts was originally in the inner stitching, and now it's out on the outer stitching. So one thing that might be telling you that it's time to renew your fibers, that they're getting a little bit old, is if you still have it stitched into the bottom, then that's going to tell you that that's an older fiber and it might be time to replace it. See, Wendy has the real old logo that I was talking about. So if you have a logo like Wendy there, and maybe you can just unmute yourself to make sure you go up on video there for a second and say something, Wendy, so that you're on our recording.
Okay, yeah, this is my first fiber.
Over the bill.
6 years ago, right? So,
Yeah.
And it's one of the older fibers or tags that's yellow and just says ENJO, clean the world, and it's white on the back and all that stuff. It's a huge difference from the new one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they always say, I mean, and this sucker is 6 years old and I use it every day. Well,
Yeah.
not every day, I'm lying there. But yeah, I pretend to do it every day.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is if you do have an old logo like Wendy, those are definitely fibers that are looking at needing to be replaced. And right now, if you do have older fibers, this is the time to replace them. So then I'm going to move on to the medium. And I have 3 stages of medium here as well. So this is an old generation medium. And it's well used. You can see it's kind of worn out It's looking pretty good though for as old as it is. But the fibers are starting to stick together and get matted down, so they're not able to get into the pores as well as the newer fibers. And then there was this medium fiber, and this is probably about 4 years old now. And it's, you know, again, the fibers are starting to get matted down and sticky in there and not able to get into the pores as much. And that's how you tell when the fibers are getting time to be replaced. And then I have another medium fiber here. And this one here is, you know, it's not too bad. There's still a nice pile there, but I do use this regularly. So it is getting on the time where it is starting to need to get replaced. So just have a look at your fibers and see if they're getting matted and stuck together and maybe not quite as buoyancy as they originally were. That's what you're looking for when you're wondering if you need to replace your fibers. Yes, Sion.
So for those that may not know, Sarah does house cleaning. So this isn't like regular home clean. You're going to be going through them that fast. Like she cleans other people's houses, so she uses them way more than the average person does.
Yeah. So when I say my fibers get used every day, they get used every day. And probably, you know, I'm looking at using my fibers, you know, as often as you would in 3 years. I probably use my fibers that often in, you know, a year. For some people, I might even use them more than that, right? Depending on how many people in the home and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to kind of compare that. Oh, I do have a new medium fiber. So that's what I meant to do. So this is a brand new, never been used medium fiber. And this is a the one that I use in my cleaning business. And besides the color, I'm hoping what you can see there is that these are matted down and these are really loose and soft and ready to get in and clean the work, whereas these are not as likely to get in and do the best job. So hopefully you can see that. Then the other thing I wanted to do before we went back onto Sion and talking about pricing and stuff is I wanted to do a quick talk about our floor system and how sometimes it needs to be cleaned too. And Sion didn't even know I was going to talk about this, but
Screen.
So I notice, especially because my system is always going in and out of my house, in and out of the car, in and out of the trunk. There's like, look how dirty it is. I don't know if you can see. It's quite dirty in there. And I meant to get a screwdriver and I didn't. So hold on. I have a hammer here and hopefully that will work. No, I'm not going to smash my floor system. In here, there's a yellow thing. And if you just lift that out, pop it out. Sure, Sarah. I told you I meant to get the floor system or the screwdriver. I've seen other people do this so easily.
The screwdriver is a lot thinner, so it'll go in further and pop it out.
Yeah. I might not be able to do that because I don't have access to a screwdriver, but I will try this. Because our flexies are handy for everything. No, but not that. So anyways, you can pop this yellow part out and get in under there and give it a good cleaning and give here a good cleaning, because if dust and debris get caught in these areas, then the opening and closing part becomes hard to maneuver back and forth, and it will often lock. So by cleaning out in all those areas, and I'm not talking about doing this every week or every month or anything like that. I'm just saying, especially if it's time that you're renewing your fibers, it's probably also time that you should give this area a check and see how dirty it is in there. And if you're ready to clean that out, or if it needs to be cleaned out, or if you're noticing that it's not locking or it's getting stuck in the open position, because you can see I'm like really struggling back and forth right now. So it needs to be cleaned. And so that is, it's time to clean my tools. So yeah.
Can you show how to put the fibers on and take it off of it, please?
Sure can. So pressing open will release these. And then here's my fiber. And I'm just going to slide that into the one side. Now imagine you'd be doing this on the floor, so it'd be much easier. And slide it into the other. You're going to flatten those out on the floor when it slides down. And then you're just going to, on this side, press the close button to make sure it locks. So now this won't be flimsy anymore. Then when you put your floor hole in, you can snap it in at any point and you just twist it around. You're going to hear a pop, and these two black pieces are going to go into place. And at that point, you can release the collar, and now you have your swivel action to get in and around. And you can just lower the collar again to lock it in place so that if the phone rings, you can walk away or you can store it. One thing I also do is when I'm storing it, I'll store it in the closet often. I'll take my fiber off and I'll hang it on the top of my pole so then it can air dry that way after I've rinsed it out, especially for quick cleanup, and have it ready to go for the next time.
Perfect, thank you. It's my first time seeing the mop system, and this is what I was really interested in.
Yeah, so the other thing that I didn't mention is when you're using the mop system, I'll see if you can, let's see if I can show the floor here. Can you guys see my floor at all?
Yep.
Yeah. So releasing that and just doing the figure 8 motion is always the best way to clean. And the reason is you're going to bring all that dirt towards yourself and collect it as you go. If you're doing a back and forth motion, then what you do is you end up pushing the dirt that way and it stays over there. Whereas if you bring it towards yourself, you can collect it into the fibers.
Another thing about that, Sarah, is if you're doing that back and forth, you're putting a lot of more wear on the one edge of the fiber.
Yeah. And the other thing is with all ENJO, the lighter you push, the more effective it is. So you don't want to be doing the back and forth because you tend to be more strenuous with the back and forth and apply more pressure. ENJO is the lighter you work it, the more effective it is. So you really do want to just kind of dance with it.
Sorry, everybody. I was just messaging her to tilt her screen and she did it right as I did it.
Fiona and I are kind of connected.
That's why Wendy keeps getting us mixed up with the floor system.
Yeah. That's okay. So any other questions anybody has? Yeah, so Wendy said she keeps her pull longer so that she doesn't put as much pressure on the fibers. So yeah, definitely that making sure that you have the ergonomic position will help with keeping with the pressure.
Is this the right screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are you done with this one?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, it's my turn. So Thank you very much, Sarah. Sarah is like the floor whisperer, which is why I pretty much make her talk about the stuff when we're doing floors, because she does it way more than I do. I will say that in January, we were finishing a renovation at my grandparents' place. So it was a bedroom upstairs, but I mean, guys are not good at shutting doors when it's a bedroom. So dust ends up everywhere, right? And somebody needed a place to stay. So they were going to take over the house for a few months. So we had to clean everything really, really fast. So like floors, every ceiling, every wall in the entire house. And the floor system saved so much time. And I didn't have to climb on anything. And anyone who knows me knows there's a little bit of accident proneness there. So with me not having to climb on anything, it was far safer. And it just, the time that it saved was phenomenal. And even places where it didn't look dusty or like it had drywall debris or anything like that, like you could see a difference as soon as you made one swipe with it. So it's also good for so this was in, when did we have the first thing? I think January, when we had our first big head office. It wasn't, what are we calling it? Was the Breath of Fresh Air winter version. Anyways, so there was like you know, the green algae kind of stuff that goes on the plastic siding on like sheds and stuff. So I was trying to clean that off. It was January and that extreme fiber worked really well. The only catch was the water kept freezing so fast. So in that situation, I had to use a little bit warmer water because I needed it to not freeze as soon as it got on the surface, but worked so well. And like my mom had the outdoor glove and I was using the floor system and I went way faster than she did. So it can be extremely beneficial at times. So for anyone interested in the floor system, we do have the floor system pack, and this is a special price, but it's a regular special price. This is not a limited time special price. So you get your choice of 2 of the fibers between dust, soft, and medium. And then you also get the telescopic pool and the floor plate cleaner for $259, which works out to $1.66 a week over 3 years. Now, like we kept saying, chances are for at least with that dust fiber, you're going to get more than 3 years out of it. Plus, unless you have some like really bad accident in your home, you don't need to replace that floor plate and that floor and the telescopic pool. So those will go on for a long time, and they're pretty good. They're not like weak construction at all. Like I have had issues with mine and they're fine, absolutely. So this is a great deal year round for the floor system. Now, keep in mind that telescopic pool attaches to most of our other tools, like the hardware part of the tools. So you will use that not just for your floor system, you will use that for many purposes once you get using ENJO products. So once you've got the basics, occasionally we need to replace some of the fibers, or you know, our extreme and our strong fibers are generally never part of that basic pack that I just showed you. So you can buy all of our components separately. Now on this one, it doesn't show it, but the regular price, you can buy just the pole, it's $69, and I believe the floor plate cleaner is $69 as well, individually. So you can individual piece things together, but it's always better with the bundle pack price. So so that's we're not trying to upsell you, we're trying to give you the best deal that we can, but we do have other options once you don't need to get the pack price. But until the end of October, we have an even better deal for the floor system right now. So, and this works out to is it $217, ladies, instead of the $259. So you can get the exact same thing. You can get the telescopic pole, the floor plate, and if you were to get 2 fibres, it would work out to $217. So amazing deal. And you will use this constantly. I have a back injury, and was it a week or 2 ago? I could barely walk. I was having a very, very rough go, and I thought, no, I'm going to show people that even when you can barely move, you can use this floor system and you can feel like you can accomplish something. So if you want more information on cleaning with the floor system with a back injury, I am your gal. So this special ends the end of October. So you do have a little bit of time. And Cindy Rose, I know, had messaged me asking me about money back guarantees and stuff like that. So because we haven't talked about that, it is a 60-day money back guarantee. I don't send things back unless people don't try them. Once people actually try their ENJO products, they fall in love with them and they want more. Is that your experience? So, and as far as the hard parts, so like the pole and the floor plate, there is a 2-year warranty on those as well. So you don't have to worry about, you know, you've only got 60 days to try it out. There is the warranty behind that as well. So if you are interested in any floor system purchases, now is an amazing time to do it. This is the sale of the year for the floor system, basically. It's the sale that people wait for. When people want the floor system, they want it for the best price, and who wouldn't? So just make sure you contact your ENJOpreneur, and they can help you with your purchase. So one thing I just realized I forgot to put the screen in here, but I was mentioning the Breath of Fresh Air event that our head office is putting on. Is it the 20th to the 21st? No. What are the dates?
21st, 22nd, 23rd.
Okay. So our head office has done an amazing job. They've had 2 of these already, and there's like, even us as ENJOpreneurs, ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, but I learned so much from these events, and there's so much excitement and enthusiasm and stuff like that. So it's really great, and it's free, and you have your chance to win some ENJO products or $100 ENJO shopping spree. So honestly, and if you can't be there live on the Zoom, you can still catch it, and they send out a recording afterwards. So it's a great way to get some information. And right now we're all going back into the houses, and you know, it's getting cooler out, so windows are closing more. So indoor air pollution is becoming a little bit more of a issue for us all than it was in, say, June and July, when we were outside a lot more. So highly recommend. I've signed up for it. Hopefully all of the other ENJOpreneurs here have too. But really, it's well worth it, because you get so much information. It's not just, you know, ENJO. They'll teach you a lot about, in this case, indoor air pollution, and how other tips, like, you know, plants will help combat it. That's not ENJO. So if you need the link for it, contact your ENJOpreneur, because we all can give you the link. You can sign up, and then there's a Facebook group specifically for that event, and they're already doing like fun little posts and stuff like that. So anyone else have any questions or any comments?
I wanted to ask Sarah, you mentioned about hanging your fiber on the end of the pole, and after you've rinsed it or whatever, what does everybody do? Like, I wash mine right, like in the washing machine pretty much at the end of the day that I've done the floors, but I wondered about, especially Sarah, if you're cleaning houses all the time, are you like rinsing it in a sink in hot water and our soap, or what do you do? So
when I hang mine, it's my home one that I'm hanging, and usually it would be after like a spill. It's not after the big cleanups, right? So I always have the fiber available so that if the kids make a spill, they can use the floor system, right? And so I would just, you know, if they spilled chocolate milk, say, we wash it up, rinse the fiber out with the hot water and soap, and then just hang it on the top of the mop so it can dry.
Right.
And so that would be the case where you're hanging it. Or if you're pulling out of the washing machine, you can just hang it on the top of the mop as well, right? You know, because it needs to be hung to be dried. So if it's in a vent or in an air circulated area, then leaving it there for the next time you need it is the perfect option, right? You don't necessarily have to hang it on a line or anything like that. That could be your best solution for drying your fiber.
Right.
So, and having it easy to use for other people in your family, because the easier you make it to use, the more likely it will be to be used, right?
For sure.
People like easy. They're not going to go digging in the back of the closet for the fiber. They just won't do it.
Yeah.
They'll shine your floor instead if they have to. But so making it that much easier. When I do home cleaning with my fibers, I immediately bring all my fibers home and throw them in the wash. Sometimes it will be 2 days because I have enough fibers to get me through 2 days. So I will throw all the fibers into the wash just to make a bigger load. So I'm doing ENJO every 2 days.
Okay.
So yeah, but I do wash everything. And so my dust fibers actually get washed way more than anybody else's, because usually for a dust fiber, you just shake it out and you're good to go for the next time. My dust fibers get washed every time I go into someone's house, because I want to make sure that whatever I'm picking up, I'm not carrying from one house to the other. So I'm washing those fibers out. So if I'm using any of those fibers, even my lint glove, you know, a lint glove is another object that, you know, doesn't typically get washed out, but my lint glove is getting washed regularly if I'm using it in someone's house.
Cool.
So any other
Actually,
questions?
talking about the dust fiber, when I'm doing demos in person, I can visually show this, but the cleaning the dust fiber is my stress relief for the day. I pretend it's whoever annoyed me the most. I take that fiber outside and I'm like banging it on the railing or the side of the house or whatever. And the motion of just doing the banging, you'll see the dust and the pet fur and everything like that, the lint releasing. Now, if it doesn't all come off, then you can just give it a quick little rub like this. Now, if you do have any breathing issues like asthma or COPD, something like that, you don't want to be breathing that in as it's being released, obviously. So you can vacuum the fiber off or put it in the dryer on air only, no heat. Both of those options will help to clean your fiber out of the dust, dirt, lint, whatever it is, without damaging your fibers and without harming your lungs at all. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to press stop on recording.